All right, everybody, we're up here in Walpole, Massachusetts for the Walpole Chamber of Commerce, along with, I believe, the Mason Lodge or one of these other organizations here are throwing a car show. I'll find out the exact information, make sure you get the right info on there. Up here in Walpole at the Municipal Town Lot. Really nice little turnout. Unfortunately, these guys got rained out 2 weeks in a row, so they finally got a beautiful day today. It's like in the mid-70s, perfect blue sky. We got a bunch of nice cars up here, so I'm gonna walk around, give us a little commentary on the cars we see up here today, and I'll maybe walk through and share a few of my favorite. I saw some really nice stuff up here today, so I'm going to share a few of those, and we'll come back at the end and just kind of give you a quick wrap up. But this is their first show, I believe, this year, so great. You know, we want to try to support as many of these small shows as we can, because again, the more that this we can do is awesome. We have like 9 shows this week at Massachusetts we could go to, so the car scene is thriving. We're super excited, and I want to go through and share a bunch of really cool stuff with you. All right, we'll start with this 79 Bronco on some giant wheels. They're at least 37s, if not 40s. Again, this body style has become super popular right now. Everybody loves these cars, and I can't really blame them. We've got an 01 Bullet in the green. It looks like really nice condition. This was kind of that first version of what Ford was doing that would go into the Mach 1 later on with some of the different special editions. The different wheels, there's no rear spoiler on the car, different seats, different instrument panel, then you have the Bullet badge. Really cool car, obviously a beautiful orange Lamborghini. You know, I'm not a big exotic guy, I don't know as much about them, so I can't give as much, but obviously it's gorgeous and super fast car up here. I am a big fan of these old style cars here right now. This one's an older Ford with a 5.0 motor in it. This just is cool, that whole humpback style. You got like a little Ford Deluxe here. There's some really good looking hot rods up here too. So, you know, the orange that we've seen up here with the flames, good looking car. I like this truck a lot, kind of with the flat paint, another little hot rod. I saw this Impala pulling in and it sounded amazing. Great color combination with the gold and the white. We've got a beautiful Grand National up here with the GNX wheels. I want to hit on this Firebird. I'm going to come back and talk about this one in just a second because this is a really cool car with this pace car. It has, again, the same motor as the Grand National. Really good looking Trans Am. We've got an old Jag, a beautiful 911, a little Triumph over here at the end. C8 Corvette. I want to hit on this Chevelle because I like it a lot, although I might hit on the Chevelle at another show. Triple black, convertible. No, this isn't the one I was looking at earlier. Sorry, there's another Chevelle up here. So this is really cool. Triple black, like a 69, gorgeous car. A couple of really nice Camaros. That's my Mustang up here. Again, don't need to talk about it. Really good looking 70 Cobra. I've talked to these folks, super nice. They've had it for like 25 years. Don't see a lot of 429s. Good looking little 66 Mustang. Another gorgeous Ford. Really cool Camaro. We heard this kind of a Pro Street come in. It sounded awesome. Love the sticker on it, the license plate on it. Another really nice little T-bucket, a hot rod. Really good looking Cuda 440 convertible in the white with the billboard stripe. Good looking car here.
Nice one, huh?
It is really nice, isn't it? Yeah. Got a really nice truck over here. Got the 66 Fastback with the giant wheels. I've shot this one at some of the shows in the purple. Another nice hot rod. We've got a good looking Chevy truck over here. And that beautiful like gunmetal gray, really sharp car. Got a Grand Sport Vet along next to a C2 Vet. Got a big old Pontiac at the end. I'm gonna hit on these over here because I was talking to these folks too that are really cool. They have some nice cars. Got a big Chrysler Grand Fury, Cadillac 4-door Fleetwood, 62 Bonneville, really sharp, followed by this beautiful 55 Chevy with the paint. I think I shot this at Endicott last year, actually, with the louvers and the ghost flames. I think it was one of my top cars at Endicott. Really nice Cutlass. Talking to the owner of this, he had just redone the car over, so that's very cool. Loving this little Tempest. Again, a good driver. Kind of a full-size mid-70s Monty. These don't get a lot of love, but they're a fun car to drive, and I like them. I grew up with these. My dad always had a bunch of these Monties, so I dig them. Really nice 440 Charger. We have the Polara we shot last year at Crescent Ridge. Love this car. It's phenomenal. This beautiful Chevelle. It says a 540 on it. Holy cow, that's a beast. I'm going to come back and see this car in a second. Really good-looking Chevy truck. Got a bunch of trucks down here with a little Ford at the end. These are all really sharp. I love the paint on this. I'm digging the sign. This is a really good looking paint though. Nice Ford here. Got a 67 442 I was talking to the owner. He owns a ton of cars. We've talked for many years at the shows. He's got a lot of really nice stuff, but he got this one a few years, I think 2008, laser straight, really cool W30 limited option. This unbelievable 65 Mustang in the yellow with the giant blower. We've seen it at a bunch of shows for many years. Gorgeous truck. We saw this at Canton the other night. Same with the Ford next to it. Got this really good looking Oldsmobile that has the this two-tone that looked really sharp. We were kind of diving in. Its paint's beautiful. Really nice older Chevy. Another nice hot rod. Got a 66 fastback Mustang. Love it. I'm digging this little hot rod here too because it's this is such a cool like 80s, early 90s vibe with that color and those wheels. This is straight like what you would see out of that time frame. Another nice little T-bucket. I talked to these folks last week. This show was going to happen last week, but it got rained out. They were up here. Nice little Z28. He's had it for a little bit. Picked it up not too long ago. We shot this Fury. We got another Ford Deluxe, and then we've got Mike's DeSoto down the end. So let's find 2 or 3 cars that we really want to talk about as some of our favorites up here. And I missed this little Charger down the end of the 440, so I apologize. I went ahead on that too. Really good looking car here too. So. All right, so I'm going to talk about this 89 Trans Am pace car. Again, one of my favorites up here. This car is such a unique, cool story. So the 89, you see the Grand National next to it. Same motor, that 3.8 Turbo 6. They put it into the Trans Am for 1 year only. This was very similar to what the GTA was. I had an 87 GTA, similar body style. This was designed to be the pace car that year. One color only. It only came in the white with like the camel interior. You could believe, I believe you get cloth or leather. They were all automatics. What's cool about this car, and it's kind of a sleeper, and they don't usually, even now they're still not typically getting as much money as the Grand Nationals, even though they're better performance cars. It was taking that Grand National performance, put it in a slippier bodyer, something that would be a little bit better from a performance standpoint. And then this car was the first car that was a pace car that needed no modifications to pace this race. And when I look at this car, it's so interesting because it's very similar to my GTA, just with a different drivetrain, right? So my GTA looked exactly like this, same wheels, same body kit. So it's essentially a GTA with the turbo Trans Am motor, with the 1 year kind of that interior that was a 1 year only color in this camel color interior. So it's a really cool car. You don't see a ton of these. They've really started to come up in value. A couple of years ago, you could have got one of these for like 15 or 20 grand, and now they're in the 30s and low 40s. And I think they're still underappreciated. I would still grab one of these if I could, because these tend to be very undervalued in my opinion compared to what you're paying for some of the other cars. Even if you go to the Trans Am right next to us, you're spending more money on that car than you simply would on this. And I think these are really undervalued because of 1 year only special edition. All right, so we'll shoot our second car up here. This is one of the 570-ish GNXs. A real GNX, has the dash plaque on it. I was talking to the friend of the owner. All right, quick disclosure. It is not a real GNX. An honest mistake, but it was still too nice of a car for me not to include, so it's still in here. But just so you know, not a real GNX. It's got a dress-up kit on it. Again, the GNX was a special edition, went to ASC McLaren, bumped up the horsepower, bumped up the torque, had a larger intercooler, different wheels, wider tires, had the fender vents, which you didn't have on the regular Grand National, and then you had the GNX badge on it. Now, most of the other stuff stayed pretty similar. They didn't change a ton on the interior. If you had the GNX, you had the different steering wheel. You did have the seats with the GNX, but the interior stayed relatively similar. And like I said, he had the dress-up kit. So this is a really cool car, beautiful car, and again, one of only 570-ish cars made in this style. So I talked a little bit about this. I got to go and talk to the owners, and again, they parked next to me. They were really friendly. We've met at a couple of shows, but what's cool around this, again, you don't see a lot of these 70 Torino Cobra 429 special 1 year. This car was so cool, and I like this fastback style. And they don't get the same amount of love that some of the Mustangs get, but I was this cool 4-speed. I love the yellow with the louver. It's just a really good-looking car. So again, a car I like. And when I see something a little unique in the yellow and something that's a little different than you find on most of them, this is just such a cool car and one I wanted to share with you guys. All right, guys. So another one of the cars up here that I really think is awesome. This '67 Chevelle 540. Talking to the owner, California car. Really cool, and a couple of things on this car. So put a 5-speed manual, which is very rare to see in one of these Restomati cars. Most of them have an automatic. It's geared the right way with like 342s in the rear end, so you can actually take it on the highway, get 70, 75, but it's got this giant 540 in it. We were just joking a little bit because even with this big motor, it said it runs great, it's fast, it is beautiful, but no power brakes, no power steering. So this is kind of like this is set up as a drag car originally, right? There's a lot of work and a lot of effort that goes into driving this, but it's such a beautiful car. And again, with all that power, it must be a ton of fun. So really nice car. One of my 5 favorite cars up here I wanted to share with you. All right, guys, so we're gonna hit on this one here, '67 442 W30 package. We talked about it a little bit when we walked around, but I was talking to the owner. He's got a bunch of cars. I've known him for years. We've met at a bunch of shows. This is such a cool car, right? W30, had it since 2008. Car was painted once like 20 years ago in this black. It's laser straight. The shut lines are gorgeous. I love everything about the color combination on this car. Again, the 400, the 4-barrel, 4-speed, right, dual exhaust for the 442, red line wheels, which looks so good with this badge. This badge on this car in this color looks phenomenal. And then you look at the red interior with the 4-speed. This is just a stunning car in this color. And again, you're used to seeing the 70s and the later 442s. You don't see as many of these. So this is a beautiful car. And again, something you're not going to see as often. Really sharp. Love the emblem. Just always a really sharp looking car. All right, guys, the last of my top 5 up here today is going to be this 66 fastback Mustang, 289, red line tires, GT wheels. It is a GT in the fastback with the light blue interior. Really good looking car. I love the 65 and 66 fastbacks. They're just such an honest, fun little sports car. And again, this is a great color combination with that, with the blue, with the fastback, with the blue interior, 4-speed. Really good looking car. Love the fastback style. I love this big window in the back. Again, just everything about this is such a good looking car. So I'm a big fan of these cars. So lots of fun. Really digging this one. All right, guys, we had a couple more cars come in, so I wanted to shoot a quick video on this one right here. And there's a Cadillac and a Corvette. So a couple other nice cars that came in. This is a 1940 LaSalle with a Buick 455 in it, a really cool color, like that iris color that you see later on. Big Coupe de Ville. These are just fun because they're just these big, classic American land yachts. I was just watching Smokey and the Bandit yesterday, similar to like Big Enos's car, then this really nice C2 Corvette in red. So I want to make sure I didn't forget these guys, and this C8 Corvette had popped into. I wanted to shoot a quick video of. All right, guys, I got to get another Fox body when I see one. So 80-something thousand miles, one repaint. I love the maroon color, the black convertible, pony wheels, good looking car. And then I saw this NSX pull in. We shot one of these in Canton a couple weeks ago. I wanted to hit on this one real quick before, we headed out in just a second. So we got this NSX right here, beautiful car with that lighter color interior. We've seen a bunch of these recently, but I haven't seen them a lot, so it's cool to see these and be able to share them at the shows with you. So that's pretty cool too. All right, guys, that's going to do it from this Walpole car show. Had a lot of fun up here. Got a good amount of cars up here, not crazy. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for running the show for us. Thanks to the Masons up here. This is just a great venue. We had a lot of fun, really good weather after they got rained out twice, so I'm happy they were able to get a good turnout. We met a lot of cool people up here today. Lots of shows coming up, guys, so keep an eye out on the channel. We're going to have a show in La Salette in 2 weeks. We'll be at Bass on May 18th, where the Bay State Antique Auto Club is the featured club. So a bunch of us will be up there. So those will be the next 2 shows, I believe, potentially next Friday in Canton. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button for me, please. Hit that like button, and I'll talk to everybody really soon. Thanks, everybody.